it's pretty easy to see who we're going to be drawing today. So, and I encourage you, get a piece of paper, get a sketchbook, piece of cardboard, whatever you have around, inside of a cereal box, get a pencil or a pen or something. I encourage you to draw with me. Now, of course, I'm narrating this afterwards. I can't draw and talk at the same time. I can't quite do all that. But you notice what I'm doing here. This is the real rough, sketchy phase. And I'm trying to get the big shapes in. Notice I didn't put the eyes in yet. I didn't put the mouth or the eyebrows or any of the little detail-y stuff. Just trying to get the big shapes here. And he's kind of shaped like an eggplant or a pear. I'm trying to just, you can see I'm doing a lot of bubbles and circles, not really doing anything too much detail. Now I'm getting into the eyebrows and the eyes. And I should say I did have a reference picture I printed out, and I had it next to me as I was drawing this, so I wasn't going from memory. I think unless you draw a cartoon character a lot or almost every day, it's hard to go just from memory. If you ask me to draw Fred Flintstone, even though I saw him on TV hundreds and hundreds of times, or Mickey Mouse or whoever, I'd still want Bugs Bunny. I'd still want a reference to get it right. I don't know if I got Patrick exactly right here. Now I decided I wanted him looking at us, so you notice I moved his pupils a little bit. That's always a good idea. I think it just makes the character engage a little more. Now what I'm doing here is I'm going into the layers, and I guess the layer menu didn't come up there. You're not seeing it on the screen. But what I did with the layer was I reduced the opacity. I made it much lighter. Now you can see I'm going to my second stage, and I put a new layer up, and I flipped it. The reason for this, and artists have done this many, many times, they'll use a mirror, or if you can flip the image or flip it on a light box, and it really, really helps you see if there's anything that's not proportional, any place where the proportions or the symmetry are off. Now, even though I'm doing this much darker, this is still not the final layer. So if you see that I left things a little sloppy, that's okay. Although you do want to get it a little bit more right at this stage than you did in the previous one. So I'm trying to trace over and find and say, where do I want the lines? Like I saw that the smile had to be broader, that he has a really big, goofy smile. Oh, and I had forgotten the tongue, too, so I put that in the belly button. Now, one thing I find it hard to do in the painting programs, at least in this one, is to really reproduce what you can get with an ink brush. When you're using a brush and an ink, you can really vary the dimension or the width of the line. If you look at a lot of the old great inkers, in terms of superheroes, there was Joe Sinnott, a lot of old Archie comics, they were really good at varying their brush width. So you could get those really wide lines for the outline, and then maybe use a pen or a dip pen for the inside. So that's something I have a little bit trouble reproducing digitally. Might be that I just need a different program. It might be easier to do in Krita or a different program. And another thing that can sometimes be a little bit difficult is you can't turn the page. When you're drawing for real on a piece of paper, you can always turn your tablet or your drawing paper, and listen to your mother. It just makes it easier to draw your lines. And they also say you should draw from your elbow. So you're not, in other words, you should you don't want to be moving your wrist too much. You want to be moving your whole arm. And right now I struggle a little bit with that with the tablet. I think you can see for the eyes I went with a little bit thinner of a brush. A little bit thinner of a line there. Now, another option with the eyes, and I have a little trouble doing it. I haven't figured out how to do it well in my paint, but I have done it in some other programs, is sometimes you can just use, if there's a tool, to draw an oval or a circle, and then you'll get perfect lines. That's up to you, because sometimes it looks too perfect, too. So it depends on what you're going for. Now, I went ahead and he has these little dots in his body. It's a nice little detail. It really starts to make it look like Patrick. And then I get his arms in here. I had to make him a little fatter. I don't think I had him quite wide enough compared to the comics. So you'll see I make some adjustments here on his shorts and Made them just a little bit broader. I'm still working on that thin line. I'm thinking maybe I should have went with the heavier line back for the outline, but we're going for it now. Oops, I didn't do too good job on his waistband for his swim shorts there. And really at this point, it's all details, just to put the flowers in on his shorts. There's always those undersea flowers in SpongeBob. And there we go. And there's Patrick, and I hope yours turned out well too.